Let's resume. A bit late. Let's resume. Now, before going into the break, we discussed EIA, and now let's discuss air pollution portion which has been left. So, as far as we have discussed up till National Air Quality Index of India, now let's discuss that why Delhi is one of the worst in terms of air pollution, or why we can say that cities of north are worst in terms of more air polluted when compared to the cities of south. Now, there are many reasons for this. When we talk about Delhi, we can see Delhi has Delhi is a landlocked city, and for that reason, you can say that the other cities of northern India are also landlocked cities. Other cities of northern India are also landlocked cities. But on the other hand, the cities of south are coastal cities mainly. Clear coastal cities mainly. So due to blowing of land and sea breezes, the air pollution level in these cities would be reduced. But this is not in the case of Delhi. This cannot be in the case of Delhi. So the air pollution level cannot be reduced. Now that's one thing. Now the second thing is what? That number of registered vehicles in Delhi outnumber the sum total of registered vehicles in other three metros. The number of registered vehicles in Delhi outnumber the sum total of registered vehicles in other three metros. So it means that the air pollution, that if suppose vehicular emission is more, air pollution would be more. So vehicular emission in Delhi is more when compared to other metros. But the third reason is what? The third reason is that stubble burning takes place in the surrounding areas of Delhi, which is a grave concern, because stubble burning is responsible for enhancing the air pollution level in Delhi to a greater extent. So let's see how stubble burning is responsible. But first of all, write down the first 2 points that we have discussed. Write down. Delhi is one of the worst in terms of Delhi is one of the worst in terms of air pollution. Delhi is one of the worst in terms of air pollution when compared with other metropolitan cities of India. Delhi is one of the worst in terms of air pollution when compared with other metropolitan cities of India. When compared with other metropolitan cities of India. Metropolitan cities of India. When compared with other metropolitan cities of India. Due to the following reasons. Delhi is a landlocked city. Delhi is a landlocked city. Whereas the other metropolitan cities of India, are coastal cities, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, coastal cities. As such, the air pollution level in Delhi, would be high, but this is not in the case of other metropolitan cities. Other metropolitan cities. And why we are saying? Because the blowing of land and sea breezes would reduce the air pollution level. Write down as the blowing of land and sea breezes. Would reduce the air pollution level would reduce the air pollution level. Air pollution level. Air pollution level. Clear? So that's the one reason. Second, vehicular emission in Delhi. Vehicular emissions. Vehicular emissions in Delhi. In Delhi is very high. Vehicular emissions in Delhi is very high. Is very high. As Delhi has one of the largest number of as Delhi has one of the largest number of registered vehicles, one of the largest number of registered vehicles, which is greater than the sum total of registered vehicles in other three metros, which is greater than the sum total of registered vehicles, which is greater than the sum total of registered vehicles, sum total of registered vehicles, sum total of registered vehicles in other three metros. Other three metros. And the third reason on which we would be emphasizing more would be what? It would be the dust storms. So dust storms strike North India, and dust storm is responsible for enhancing PM 2.5, PM 10, and also surface ozone level, which is responsible for what? Which is responsible for air pollution. You can hardly see dust storms coming in South India. Right down, dust storms are responsible for enhancing the level of PM 2.5, enhancing the level of PM 2.5, PM 10, and surface ozone. Dust storms are responsible for enhancing the level of PM 2.5, PM 10, and surface level ozone. And we can see dust storms mainly strikes which area? So dust storms are responsible for striking the cities of north, because of which we can see that Delhi is one of the worst in terms of air pollution. Write down, dust storms are mainly responsible for striking. Dust storms are mainly responsible for striking the cities of north. Then we can see that stubble burning takes place in the surrounding areas of Delhi. See, when you talk about stubble burning takes place in the surrounding areas of Delhi, in Rajasthan, in western Uttar Pradesh, in Punjab, in Haryana. These are the areas which are affected by stubble burning. Clear? Now, as far as stubble burning is concerned, areas affected by stubble burning. Now, as far as stubble burning is concerned, we can see that the main reason behind stubble burning and how it is connected to air pollution. Let's see. The main reason behind why stubble burning takes place, first of all, the main reason behind stubble burning is what? The main reason behind stubble burning is a variety of paddy which is called as Pusa 44 variety. Pusa 44 variety of paddy. And Pusa 44 variety of paddy is a short-lived variety of paddy. So we can see that this short-lived variety of paddy, it is short-lived, so it hardly gives time for wheat cultivation. So wheat cannot be sowed at the right time, because this is a long-standing variety of paddy. Sorry, Pusa 44 variety is a long-standing variety of paddy. The Pusa 44 variety was given by us by the Green Revolution of India. So it is a long-standing variety of paddy. Long-standing. Now, suppose Pusa 44 variety stands on the field for a longer period of time, then what will happen? That wheat cannot be cultivated at the right time. Why? Because sowing of wheat won't take place at right time. Clear? And if sowing of wheat does not take place, wheat cultivation would be hampered. So instead of cutting the stubble, the farmers burn their field. Clear? That's the reason behind stubble burning. So they are not responsible for cutting the stubble. They burn their field. They extract the paddy, and they are responsible for burning the field. So that's the reason why stubble burning takes, main reason why stubble burning takes place. And the connect with air pollution is how? Because every year when stubble burning is taking place, 240 million kg of NOx would be emitted. 7 million kg of nitrous oxide would be emitted. So if suppose you are responsible for emitting 240 million kg of NOx and 7 million kg of nitrous oxide is emitted, remember that nitrogen is a main constituent of PM 2.5. Clear? We are saying that nitrogen is the main constituent of PM 2.5, and this is the reason why we can see the air pollution level enhances. So that's the connect between stubble burning. Every year, 240 million kg. NOx is a combination of what? When you write NOx is a combination of NO2, nitrogen dioxide, plus nitric oxide, NO. And nitrous oxide is separately treated, N2O. So every year due to stubble burning, 240 million kg and 7 million kg of nitrous oxide. And the rate at which NOx emission is enhancing, we can see that in the years to come, India would become the biggest emitter of NOx in the world. Presently, in the last decade, not presently, in the last decade, we can see that NOx emission from India was enhanced 50%. If India continues to go like this, India would become the biggest emitter of NOx in the world. Biggest emitter of NOx in the world, India would become. And that's a concern for India. Today, the three gases which are emitted from the agricultural sector of India includes what? It includes NOx. It includes nitrous oxide, second. And third, it includes methane. These are the three gases mainly emitted from agricultural sector of India. But India is today the biggest emitter of which two gases? One is ammonia and second is sulfur dioxide. And ammonia, why? Because India has a large number of cattle. And in the waste product of cattle, you can see urease is an enzyme secreted by microorganism. So this enzyme urease would be responsible for converting urinary urea into ammonia. And that's the reason why ammonia would be emitted on a large scale. India is the biggest emitter of ammonia in the world. Clear? Now, India is the biggest emitter of SO2 in the world also. And why SO2 in the world? Because as far as India is concerned, the coal-fired thermal plants of India, the coal-based thermal plants of India, they are responsible for lacking in desulfurization technology. They lack desulfurization technology, and because of which India becomes the biggest emitter of SO2 in the world. So India is the biggest emitter of ammonia in the world. India is the biggest emitter of SO2 in the world. Clear? But then the question is, the timing is also a matter of concern, because timing of stubble burning coincides with the festive occasion of Diwali, and it also coincides with not only the festive occasion of Diwali, but also it coincides with what? The onset of winter, the coming of winter. Clear? And because of which we can see that air pollution enhances to a greater extent. Clear? Because of which we can see that air pollution enhances to a greater extent. Fine. Now, that's the connect that we have drawn. And also we know now what needs to be done for this purpose and what steps have been taken earlier. In the year 2015, the NGT, National Green Tribunal, was responsible for banning stubble burning in all these states. that is Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Western Uttar Pradesh. So that was done. That was the first step which was taken. But the problem is what? That this ban has not been properly implemented. When recently some officials in Punjab went to implement this ban, they were bashed up by. They were bashed up by what? They were bashed up by rods and locked inside a room. So this cannot be implemented easily. Second thing is what? That in the year 2017, the government of India purchased some machines, devices called as happy seeders. Happy seeders means, suppose this is the stubble, this is the paddy stubble. So this would be making a space in the paddy stubble and sow the wheat. So sowing of wheat would be taking place at right time. Sowing of wheat would be taking place at right time. Clear? And after that, you can cut the stubble also. Fine. But sowing should be at the right time. Next thing is what? Next thing is called as hay rakes. So the stubble would be winded in the form of a rakes like this, which can be used by paper and pulp industry for making of cardboard boxes, etc. So this is called as hay rakes. And there are straw choppers. Straw choppers means that these choppers would be responsible for, these are machines, it would be responsible for chopping the stubble within minutes. So why not use this, then burn stubble? Burn stubble. So all these things have been, and 35,000 such devices were purchased by Government of India to be supplied to the farmers of these states, so that they should be responsible for reducing stubble burning. Clear? They would be responsible for reducing stubble burning. So this was done. Clear? Now next step was taken by the Supreme Court of India. So Supreme Court of India was responsible for purchasing. Supreme Court of India was responsible for banning the use of few elements: lithium, arsenic, mercury, antimony, lead in firecrackers. Why? Because if these things are used, then air pollution would be enhancing through firecrackers. And same at the time of stubble burning also. So why should we be responsible for allowing the air pollution level to be enhanced to a greater extent? To be enhanced to a greater extent. So this was the reason. Clear? This was the reason. And then we can see and then we can see that another step was taken, that the Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, he proposed the establishment of rice bioparks for the farmers. So farmers can come there, they would be selling their stubble. So if they sell the stubble, they would be cutting also, they won't be burning it. And this can be converted into usable items like cardboard boxes, like paper, and farmers can have some earning from it. They would be having some earning from it. So that can be done. Clear? And also we can see another step was taken, that IIT Hyderabad and KIIT Bhubaneswar, they were responsible for developing bio bricks, which can be made using stubble. So how it can be made? That it would be, stubble would be finely chopped, it would mixed with a slurry of lime, and then it would be poured in molds so that these bricks are developed, and these would be used as building blocks, clear, in structures, and they would be not as strong as the normal bricks, but would be considered as great insulators of heat. So all these steps. If stubble burning is asked as separate question also, you should be able to answer it. Clear? Write down stubble burning. Stubble burning. Stubble burning. Write down. Stubble burning takes place in the surrounding areas of Delhi. stubble burning takes place in the surrounding areas of Delhi. In the surrounding areas of Delhi, Punjab, Punjab, Haryana, Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, Western Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, and Rajasthan. These are the areas where stubble burning takes place. And we can see that this is responsible for what? This is responsible for enhancing the air pollution level in Delhi. Write down, which is responsible for enhancing, which is responsible for enhancing the air pollution level in Delhi, which is responsible for enhancing the air pollution level in Delhi. Air pollution level in Delhi. That's the first areas affected. The main reason behind stubble burning, the main reason behind stubble burning, reason behind stubble burning is Pusa 44 variety of paddy, Pusa 44 variety of paddy, Pusa 44 variety of paddy. The main reason behind stubble burning is Pusa 44 variety of paddy, which is a long-lived variety, which is a long-lived variety, and gives less time for wheat cultivation, and gives less time for wheat cultivation, less time for wheat cultivation. Clear? So you can see that this variety of paddy was offered to us by the Green Revolution of India. Write down, this variety of paddy was offered to us. This variety of paddy was offered to us, offered to us by the Green Revolution, by the Green Revolution of India, by the Green Revolution of India, offered to us by the Green Revolution of India, Revolution of India. Clear? Now, the third thing that you have to know is that timing is a matter of concern, because stubble burning coincides with onset of winter and also the festive occasion of Diwali. Write down, the timing is a matter of concern. The timing is a matter of concern. Timing is a matter of concern. As stubble burning coincides with, as stubble burning coincides with the festive occasion of Diwali, the festive occasion of Diwali, and also the onset of winter, and also the onset of winter. Festive occasion of Diwali and also the onset of winter. Clear? But we can see that this is the timing, main reason areas. But another concern is what? Another concern is how to connect stubble burning with air pollution. So write down, every year due to stubble burning, every year due to stubble burning, how it is connected? Every year due to stubble burning, 240 million kg, 240 million kg of NOx, that's a combination of nitrogen dioxide and nitric oxide, of NOx, and 7 million kg and 7 million kg of nitrous oxide, and 7 million kg of nitrous oxide is emitted 240 million kg of NOx and 7 million kg of nitrous oxide is emitted. Nitrous oxide is emitted. And we can see, since nitrogen is the main constituent of PM 2.5, that's why it enhances double burning. Write down, since nitrogen is the main constituent of, since nitrogen is the main constituent of PM 2.5, since nitrogen is the main constituent of PM 2.5, it enhances double burning. Since nitrogen is the main constituent of PM 2.5, it enhances stubble burning. Enhances stubble burning. Nitrogen is the main constituent of PM 2.5. It enhances stubble burning. Enhances stubble burning. Clear? But we can see that as far as the NOx emission is concerned, the NOx emission in India have enhanced in the last two decades. Write down, the NOx emission in India have enhanced in the last 2 decades. The NOx emission in India have enhanced in the last 2 decades. Emission in India have enhanced in the last 2 decades. Last 2 decades. And if suppose India continues like this, then India would become the biggest emitter of NOx in the world. Write down, if India continues to be like this, if India continues to be like this, India would become the biggest emitter of NOx in the world. India would become the biggest emitter of NOx in the world. NOx in the world. But do remember, the 3 main gases which are emitted from the agricultural sector of India includes what? It includes NOx. It includes, second is nitrous oxide, and third is what? Third is ammonia. Write down, the 3 main gases, emitted from, the 3 main gases emitted from the 3 main gases emitted from agricultural sector of India. Agricultural sector of India. 3 main gases emitted from agricultural sector of India. Agricultural sector of India includes, agricultural sector of India includes NOx. First is that nitrous oxide and methane. So first is NOx maximum, nitrous oxide and methane. Clear? Nitrous oxide has replaced methane as the second most abundantly emitted gas from the agriculture sector of India. Second most abundantly emitted gas from the agricultural sector of India. So that is methane, NOx and nitrous oxide. Clear? Then we can see also we can see that as far as India is concerned, from India ranks first in the emission of what? In the emission of ammonia and SO2. Write down, although India ranks first in the emission of ammonia and SO2, although India ranks first in the emission of ammonia and SO2, first in the emission of ammonia and SO2. India is the biggest emitter of ammonia in the world. India is the biggest emitter of ammonia in the world. Biggest emitter of ammonia in the world. And why India is the biggest emitter of? First position is held by India because urease is an enzyme secreted by microorganism in the waste product of cattle. Write down, as India is the biggest emitter of ammonia in the world, as urease is an enzyme Urease is an enzyme. Is an enzyme. Urease is an enzyme secreted by secreted by secreted by microorganisms secreted by microorganisms. Urease is an enzyme secreted by microorganism in the waste product of cattle. In the waste product of cattle. Urease is an enzyme secreted by microorganism in the waste product of cattle. And what does urease does? Urease is responsible for converting urinary urea into ammonia. Write down. Urease converts urinary urea, the urea which is present in urine, into ammonia. Urinary urea into ammonia. And that's why India is the biggest emitter of ammonia, because India has one of the largest number of cattle in the world. Write down. As such, India becomes one of the biggest emitter of India becomes the biggest emitter of ammonia in the world. As such, India becomes the biggest emitter of ammonia in the world. Emitter of ammonia in the world. As India has biggest emitter of ammonia in the world, as India has India has one of the largest number of cattle. Biggest emitter of ammonia in the world, as India has one of the largest number of cattle. One of the largest number of cattle. As India has one of the largest number of cattle. So that's why India is the biggest emitter of ammonia in the world. But India is the biggest emitter of SO2 in the world. Why? Because the coal-based thermal plants of India lack desulfurization technology. Write down. India is the biggest emitter of SO2 in the world. India is the biggest emitter of SO2 in the world. SO2 in the world. Biggest emitter of SO2 in the world. As the coal-based thermal plants of India. Coal-based thermal plants of India. Thermal plants of India lack desulfurization technology. Lack desulfurization technology. As the coal-based thermal plants of India lack desulfurization technology. Desulfurization technology. Clear? Fine. Desulfurization technology. And that's why India becomes the biggest emitter of SO2 in the world. Sulfur dioxide in the world. This you have to know. Although we have discussed these two things, which is not connected to stubble burning, but at least we should know that India is the biggest emitter of which gases in the world. And soon India can become the biggest emitter of NOx in the world also, because of stubble burning. But then the question is, what needs to be done for this purpose? Write down. Steps taken. Steps taken. Steps taken. Now, the first step was taken in the year 2015. Write down. In the year 2015. In the year 2015. 2015. NGT, that is National Green Tribunal, NGT banned stubble burning. NGT banned stubble burning in Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, and Western UP. All these states. Punjab and Western UP. But having said so, do remember that this ban has not been implemented fully. Write down. But this ban has not been implemented fully. But this ban has not been implemented fully. Ban has not been implemented fully. Clear? So that was in the year 2015. Then we can see that in the year 2017, two steps were taken. Write down. In the year 2017, Government of India, Government of India, Government of India purchased 35,000 devices. This much, great number. 35,000 devices, like happy seeders, hayrix, straw choppers, happy seeders, hayrix, straw choppers to be supplied to happy seeders, hayrick, straw choppers to be supplied to farmers of these states to reduce stubble burning. To be supplied to farmers of these states to reduce stubble burning. Farmers of these states to reduce stubble burning. Farmers of these states to reduce stubble burning. So that was done. Then we can see in the same year, that is 2017, the Supreme Court banned lithium, arsenic, mercury, then antimony and lead in firecrackers, so that further the air pollution does not aggravate, because the timing is the same. Right down. In the year 2017, Supreme Court banned the use of lamal, that is lithium, antimony, mercury, arsenic and lead. Lithium, antimony, mercury, arsenic and lead. Now these were banned where? These were banned in firecrackers. Supreme Court banned the use of lithium and antimony, mercury, arsenic and lead in firecrackers. To reduce air pollution. Clear? To reduce air pollution. So this was done. See, there is a mechanism to turn, that is, see, stubble is what? Stubble is not only, stubble is organic waste, organic matter. You can develop biofuels from this. The dry digester technology can be used for this purpose. We have discussed earlier. Does stubble burning emit silicon dioxide in atmosphere, as stubble burning consists of high silica? Yes. Because stubble would be consisting of silica, so it can release. See, what are the things which are released due to stubble burning? NOx, which includes nitrogen dioxide and nitrous oxide. Then also methane, nitrous oxide, black carbon, brown carbon, carbon monoxide, silicon oxide. All these are reduced due to stubble burning. And stubble is nothing but organic waste. You can convert them into biogas. Biogas is nothing but a fuel for you. Clear? So it can be converted into biogas, which is nothing but a type of fuel for you. And from biogas, you know where CBG also can be developed, compressed biogas also can be developed, which will be used for transportation. We have discussed the program SATAT, that's sustainable alternates towards affordable transportation. Clear. Supreme Court banned the use of lamal in firecrackers. In firecrackers. Clear. Firecrackers. Then also we can see that Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, write down, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, M.S. Swaminathan proposed the establishment of, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan proposed the establishment of rice bioparks, rice bioparks, establishment of rice bioparks for the farmers, rice bioparks for the farmers, who can sell their stubble, who can sell their stubble, rice bioparks for the farmers who can sell their stubble, which can be converted into, which can be converted into, usable commodities, which can be converted into usable commodities, usable commodities, can be converted into usable commodities. Is that clear? Fine. So this is called as rice bioparks. And we can see that also the IIT Hyderabad and KIIT Bhubaneswar, they developed what is called as biobricks by using stubble. Write down IIT Hyderabad, IIT Hyderabad, IIT Hyderabad and KIIT Bhubaneswar and KIIT Bhubaneswar developed, KIIT Bhubaneswar developed rice biobricks, developed rice biobricks using stubble, rice biobricks using stubble, Clear. These won't be as strong as, write down, these won't be as strong as, normal bricks. These won't be as strong as normal bricks, but would be great insulator of heat, great insulator of heat, great insulator of heat. Clear. This much in stubble burning. And see, we have discussed few reasons why the pollution level in Delhi is more when compared to other metropolitan cities of India. In other words, also they can frame a question like why the cities of North are more air polluted when compared to the cities of South. So that's another question which can be framed from this area. That's another question which can be framed from this area. But as far as the other reasons, some additional reason for air pollution is concerned, we can see in the NCR region, that is National Capital Region, not only stubble burning takes place in the surrounding areas, but one reason is what? That furnace oil is used in the NCR region. NCR region is a highly industrialized zone. So furnace oil is used in the NCR region. Then industrialized nation, the furnace oil is used there, and furnace oil is used for what purpose? It is used as a source of energy. So furnace oil is used as a source of energy. Now this is responsible for enhancing the air pollution level. How? How it is responsible for enhancing the air pollution level? Because furnace oil is one of the last grade products which we obtain from oil refinery. And this furnace oil, when it is burnt, it is used as energy source. But furnace oil is rich in sulfur. We can see that the sulfur content of furnace oil is 15,000 to 20,000 ppm. If we compare furnace oil with diesel, we can see the sulfur content of diesel is 50 ppm. 50 ppm. So the sulfur content of furnace oil is very high. Clear? And the sulfur content of pet coke. Pet coke is also used in industry. So sulfur content of pet coke, which is also obtained from refineries, is very high. It is from 69,000 to 74,000 ppm. Very high, very high. And this is also used in industries for energy purpose. But pet coke is a costly thing. So it is a costly thing. So we can see that if pet coke is used, why should it be used in industry if suppose it is a costly affair? It is used in industry and is preferred than coal. Preferred than coal, although it is costly. Why? Because the calorific value of pet coke is very high. The same unit would be giving you more energy. So calorific value is very high. That's why it is preferred than coal. And we can see sulfur is a gas. But what connect it has with air pollution? Sulfur is a gas, but when it comes in contact with moisture in atmosphere, it converts into particulate matter. And that's why we can see that this is the reason why air pollution level in the areas enhance. Clear? Air pollution level in Delhi or in the surrounding areas of Delhi also it enhances. Why? Because of this reason. Clear? Fine. Write down furnace oil. Give the title furnace oil. Furnace oil. That's the title. Furnace oil. In the surrounding areas of Delhi, particularly in the NCR region, particularly in the NCR region, particularly in the NCR region, furnace oil is used on a large scale. Furnace oil is used on a large scale in industries for energy purpose. In industries for energy purpose. The objective is what? The objective is energy. In industry for energy purpose. For energy purpose. And why we are saying in industries for energy purpose? Now we can see furnace oil is one of the last grade products which is obtained from refinery, and this is rich in sulfur. Now it is sorry, it is one of the last grade petroleum products, obtained from refineries, and is rich in sulfur, last grade petroleum product obtained from refineries and is rich in sulfur. It is used in industries for energy purpose. used in industry for energy purpose. Energy purpose. And see, initially it was just one second. So rice cultivation is always a source of methane. Extensive rice cultivation emits huge amount of methane in atmosphere and as a cause of global warming. So, sir, is there any preventive measures so that rice fields can emit less of methane? See, in rice field, particularly stagnant paddy, we can see decomposition of organic waste takes place. That's why it is responsible for emission of methane. We do not have a remedy for that, and hardly we have absorbers of methane there in the rice field. But the emission of methane is a natural emission which is taking place from rice field. We are responsible for cultivating rice on a large scale. One thing when we can do is not to cultivate rice but cultivate cash crops. But then what about the food security? It depends upon rice and wheat. Why Delhi local people do not use much public transport like metro? See, it's not so. See what happens in Delhi. If you see the most used metro in entire India is the Delhi metro because a large number of people commute through it. But the problem is what? What the problem is that whenever we are thinking about doing these things, the population is a big problem. Population is a big problem. See, more than 20-30 lakh people commute through Delhi metro every day. More than 30 lakh. Clear? Sometimes it is said that half the population of Delhi commutes. And if suppose no metro was present, they would have commuted through what their own vehicles, which would have enhanced the pollution level. So it's not that they are not using electric vehicles, they are using, but the population is such that there would be jams on the roads. Plus, some people, not all, they feel pride in using their own vehicles. You can use your own vehicles when suppose in a weekend you can go with your family for a small trip. Then use it. What is the point in driving a big vehicle and moving to the office in that vehicle and no companion is there? You are not reducing the pollution, you are enhancing the pollution. Clear? And the biggest problem is pollution. Not only pollution but also the population of Delhi, because the population of Delhi is enhancing to a greater extent. And even if we are using these modes of transport, we are not able to check the air pollution level. Clear? We are not able to check the air pollution level. Now, it is used for energy purpose. Right on the sulfur content of furnace oil. The sulfur content of furnace oil is from 15,000 to 20,000 ppm, is from 15,000 to 20,000 ppm. 20,000 ppm. The sulfur content of diesel is 50 ppm only. The sulfur content of diesel is 50 ppm only. 50 ppm only. And we can see that apart from furnace oil, pet coke is also obtained from refinery and used in industries for energy purpose. Write down. Apart from furnace oil, pet coke, pet coke is also obtained from refineries, refineries and used in industries for energy purpose, and used in industries for energy purpose, but then we can see that as far as petcoke is concerned, petcoke is a costly, but then it is preferred than coal. Why? Because the calorific value of petcoke is very high. Write down, although petcoke is costly, petcoke is costly, but it is preferred, than coal, preferred than coal, as the calorific value, calorific value of petcoke is very high, as the calorific value of petcoke is very high, clear, and the calorific value is very high, and that's why it is preferred than coal. So if you burn small amount of petcoke also, then more of energy would be generated. This is the reason why petcoke, see, initially furnace oil was exempted from the state taxes. No tax, state tax was imposed, but now the state taxes have been imposed on furnace oil. Yes, the government of India has also taken a step, the initiative to take out ethanol from the stubble. Not only this has been done, but we can see that dry digester technology has been proposed by Pusa Institute also for this purpose. And Pusa Institutes have developed what is called as biodigesters for this purpose. So not only ethanol would be taken out, but also we can see biogas would be developed by this technology. Clear? Now let's move forward. All these we know about. And then the last thing that you have to know is that sulfur is a gas, but when it comes in contact with moisture in atmosphere, it transforms into particulate matter. That's why it enhances the air pollution level. Write down, sulfur is a gas, but when it comes in contact with, sulfur is a gas, but when it comes in contact with moisture in atmosphere, it transforms into particulate matter. Particulate matter, and that's how air pollution level is enhanced. Is that clear? Fine. That's how air pollution level would be enhanced. Now let's discuss some other thing also. Bricklins. Sir, I saw many vehicles are there, including government public vehicles, are more than 50 years old. These vehicles aren't banned still. See, for commercial vehicles, 10 years. For private vehicles, 15 years. After that, it should not be used. That is the imposition by the government. Clear? So if I have a car, I can use that car for 15 years. If suppose a commercial vehicle is used, that is used for only and only 10 years. After that, it should be removed. Clear? So there is a guideline in Delhi that beyond that you cannot use. Beyond that, you have to remove that vehicle from Delhi, because the air pollution enhances to a greater extent. Clear? So that is the guideline. Sulfur and moisture, particulate matter. Next, see, another concern is also bricklins. Bricklins. Bricklins are responsible for enhancing the air pollution levels where the bricks are made. And why it enhances the air pollution where bricks are made? Because bricklins for energy purpose use 70% coal, then also 24% wood, and also the remaining is sawdust. When this is burnt, this enhances the air pollution level to a greater extent. Right on. Bricklins also enhance air pollution levels to a greater extent. Bricklins also enhance air pollution level to a greater extent. Air pollution level to a greater extent. As for energy purpose, they use for energy purpose they use 70% coal, 70% coal, 24% wood, 24% wood, and 6% sawdust, 6% sawdust. So burning of all these three would be enhancing the air pollution level to a greater extent. That's why we say bricklins are also a culprit. But as far as air pollution is concerned, coming to the conventional part, air pollutants can be broadly divided into two categories. Okay, I'll try to provide. I have written that that is the main content of 2020 and 2006 draft EIA notification, but I'll search it out and give it to you. Clear? Now, next thing. As far as as far as air pollution is concerned, we can see air pollutants can be broadly divided into two categories, two broad categories. One is called as primary air pollutant. Primary air pollutant. The second is called as secondary air pollutants. One is primary air pollutant and the second would be called as secondary air pollutant. Now, primary air pollutant, when we say primary air pollutant, when we say, now it means that these pollutants would be directly emitted due to vehicular or industrial emissions. That's called as primary air pollutant, which can be carbon monoxide, which can be hydrocarbons. So they are directly emitted. But when primary air pollutants are emitted, an atmospheric constituent acts on it. Atmospheric constituents act on it. Then secondary air pollutant would be generated. One such example of secondary air pollutant is called as photochemical smog. One of the best example of secondary air pollutant is called as photochemical smog. So let's see how photochemical smog is generated. Right on. Air pollutants can be broadly divided into. Air pollutants can be broadly divided into two categories. Broadly divided into two categories. Can be broadly divided into two categories. First, primary air pollutant. Primary air pollutant. Air pollutant. Primary air pollutant, which is directly emitted. Which is directly emitted due to vehicular or industrial emission. Vehicular or industrial emission, which is directly emitted due to vehicular or industrial emission, like carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons. Vehicular or industrial emission like carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons. Second, secondary air pollutant, SO2, many things. Secondary air pollutant, when when atmospheric constituent, atmospheric constituent can be anything. It can be sunlight, it can be wind. When atmospheric constituent acts on primary air pollutant, acts on primary air pollutant, atmospheric constituent acts on primary air pollutant, secondary air pollutant is generated, secondary air pollutant is generated. The best example of which is, photochemical smog. The best example of which is photochemical smog. Photochemical smog. The best example of which is photochemical smog. Clear? And let's see what is photochemical smog. What exactly is the meaning of photochemical smog? See, suppose this is the depiction of photochemical smog. Now from here we can see industrial emission is taking place. This is industrial emission or vehicular emission is taking place. Now industrial emission or vehicular emission is responsible for pumping into atmosphere NOx, hydrocarbons. These are the things which are pumped into the atmosphere due to industrial or vehicular emission. When sunlight acts on these, when sunlight is responsible for acting on these, then what happens is oxidants are generated. And there are three types of oxidants which are generated. One is O3, ozone. Second is nitrogen dioxide. And third is peroxyacetyl nitrate. So we are saying that three types of oxidants would be generated. First is ozone. Ozone is a type of oxidant. Nitrogen dioxide, NO2. And third is peroxyacetyl nitrate. Now in a combined manner, these three things would be called as photochemical smog. Photochemical smog. If suppose the intensity of solar radiation is very high, then photochemical smog, you can take a pic of it. If the intensity of solar radiation is very high, then photochemical smog is called as what? It is referred to as brown air. And if the intensity of solar radiation is less, then it would be called as what? Then it would be called as gray air. So depending upon the intensity, two names of the fog. One is called as brown air and second is called as gray air. Clear? The adverse impact, now it takes place where? It takes place in those parts of metropolitan cities where the vehicular or industrial emission is more. Before the CNG revolution in Delhi, before the CNG revolution in Delhi, it used to take place in Delhi. It used to take place in Delhi. CNG revolution, it used to take place in Delhi. And as far as photochemical smog is concerned, it has many adverse impact. It is responsible for burning sensation in eyes. It is responsible for respiratory problem. It is responsible for also damaging the chloroplast of plants. So photosynthesis would be reduced. Corrosion of buildings would also take place. Now this is what you have to learn about photochemical smog. Write down photochemical smog. Photochemical smog. Photochemical smog. It is not a very widespread phenomena. It is not a very widespread phenomena. Widespread phenomena. It takes place takes place in those parts of metropolitan cities. It takes place in those parts of metropolitan cities. Those parts of metropolitan cities where where the vehicular emission is where the vehicular or industrial emission is more. It takes place in those parts of metropolitan cities where the vehicular or industrial emission is more. Vehicular or industrial emission is more. Clear? Due to these emissions, NOx and hydrocarbons. Due to these emissions, NOx and hydrocarbons are pumped into the atmosphere. NOx and hydrocarbons are pumped into the atmosphere. Pumped into the atmosphere. NOx and hydrocarbons are pumped into the atmosphere. Into the atmosphere. When sunlight falls on it, sunlight falls on it, oxidants are formed. When sunlight falls on it, oxidants are formed. Which include ozone, nitrogen dioxide, which includes ozone, nitrogen dioxide, and peroxyacetyl nitrate, nitrogen dioxide and peroxyacetyl nitrate, in a combined form. These three are referred to as, in a combined form, these three are referred to as photochemical smog. In a combined form, these three are referred to as photochemical smog. And we can see, if the intensity of solar radiation is very high, photochemical smog is called as brown air. If the intensity is low, then it is called as gray air. Write down. If the intensity of solar radiation is high, photochemical smog is called gray air. Sorry. If the intensity of solar radiation is high, photochemical smog is called brown air. If it is low, it is called gray air. If it is low, it is called gray air. If the intensity of solar radiation is high, it is called as brown air. And if it is low, it is called as gray air. Clear? Gray air. So that's two names of photochemical smog. But then the impact of photochemical smog is what? That photochemical smog is responsible for burning sensation in eyes. Write down. It is responsible for burning sensation in eyes. It is responsible for burning sensation in eyes. Responsible for burning sensation in eyes. It is responsible for burning sensation in eyes. It is also responsible for burning sensation in eyes. It is also responsible for sensation in eyes. It is also responsible for respiratory problems, corrosion of buildings. It also takes place due to photochemical smog. And damages chloroplast of plants and damages chloroplast of plants. Chloroplast of plants. Clear? So this is about photochemical smog. And then the part of it is also that if suppose we talk about removal of air pollution, removal of air pollution can be done on a low scale also and on a large scale also. If we talk about removal of air pollution on a low scale, we can use certain devices. These devices include what it includes: arresters, scrubbers, and electrostatic precipitators. These are the devices which can be used by us on a low scale to remove air pollution. Write down: removal of air pollution. Removal of air pollution. Removal of air pollution. On a low scale, air pollution can be removed. On a low scale, air pollution can be removed. Pollution can be removed. On a low scale, air pollution can be removed by devices like arresters. And what are arresters? Arresters are a centrifuge. Suppose this is a centrifuge in which we can see the contaminated air is whirled, and the contaminants would be, when it is whirled, the contaminants would be settling at the periphery. So this is called as arresters. So you can see that removal of air pollution on a low scale can take place by devices like arresters. Clear? Second device, scrubbers. And what is scrubbers? Scrubber is a wet jacket. Suppose this is a wet jacket. Through which the contaminated air is passed. So here is the contaminated air. Contaminated air is passed. And from the other side, we can see pure air would be released. Why? Because of the wet jacket. Because moisture is responsible for removing air pollution. So it is a wet jacket in which contaminated air is passed, and from the other part of the jacket, fresh pure air would be released. So that's called as scrubber. Third is called as what? Third is called as electrostatic precipitator. Electrostatic precipitator. Electrostatic precipitator. And what is this device? Electrostatic precipitator. It is a device in which we are responsible for doing what? It is a device in which we are responsible for giving electric charge to contaminated air. And then the charged particulate matter, which has been charged due to electric. Now this would be collected on a separate platform. Write down: in this device, electrostatic precipitator. In this device, electric charge is given. In this device, electric charge is given. Electric charge is given. Charge is given to the contaminated air. Electric charge is given to the contaminated air. Contaminated air. And the charged particulate matter, and the charged particulate matter and the charged particulate matter would be collected on a separate platform, and the charged particulate matter would be collected on a separate platform. Collected on a separate platform. Charged particulate matter would be collected on a separate platform. Collected on a separate platform. Collected on a separate platform. These are, but if you have to remove air pollution on a large scale, there are indoor plants which can be preferred for that purpose, which includes the erica palm, the snake plant, and not only erica palm and snake plant, but money plant also can be used for this purpose. Right on. For removing air pollution on a low scale, for removing air pollution on a low scale, on a low scale, we can also prefer plants like, we can also prefer plants like, plants like we can also prefer plants like erica palm, plants like erica palm, erica palm, snake plant, snake plant, and money plant. Erica palm, snake plant, and money plant. So these kind of plants can also be used. Clear? Now that's about removing air pollution on a small scale, low scale. So we can use arresters, we can use scrubbers, we can use electrostatic precipitators. We can use vegetation like erica palm, snake plant, and money plant. But if you have to remove air pollution on a large scale, then we can use, then we would be responsible for using devices other than this. Right on. But if air pollution is to be removed on a large scale, but if air pollution is to be removed on a large scale, air pollution is to be removed on a large scale, then device like, then device like, device like super tree, then device like super tree, vayu, super tree, vayu, device like super tree, vayu, super tree, vayu, and anti-smog tower, and anti-smog tower can also be used. An anti-smog tower can also be used. Anti-smog tower can also be used. Now, as far as what is super tree? Now, super tree is a device in which we are responsible for mixing contaminated air with water under thermodynamic pressure. So what happens? The contaminants would be getting converted into some mud and some dirty water which can be easily passed into the drains. But then you cannot say that this would be responsible for water pollution because some mud and some dirty water would be produced. But this also has the added advantage of removing CO2 from air and making the air also germ free. Right down. Super tree is a device in which, super tree is a device in which, is a device in which contaminated air, is a device in which contaminated air, contaminated air is mixed with water, is mixed with water under thermodynamic pressure, under thermodynamic pressure. thermodynamic pressure. Contaminated air is mixed with water under thermodynamic pressure. The contaminants get converted into the contaminants get converted into some mud and dirty water, some mud and dirty water, which would be passed into drains. Some mud and dirty water, which would be passed into the drains. So this is how it removes air pollution. And it was used in Lima. It's a costly device. It's not a tree, but it's a device. And we can see that it also reduces the CO2 level in air and makes the air germ free. Write down. It also reduces the CO2 level in air. It also reduces the CO2 level in air. And makes the air CO2 level in air and makes the air germ free Clear? Now Vayu is a device which was established in cities like Delhi, and this has been developed by NERI, National Engineering Research Institute, that has its headquarters at Nagpur, and CSIR. These two organizations were responsible for developing it. Now it has a fan on one side through which it sucks contaminated air. The contaminated air would be sucked by it. And then it has a number of filters through which the particulate matter would be sieved out. And at the end, we can see that it has activated carbon. So this is suppose activated carbon with a coating of titanium oxide over it, so that the harmful substances which are present in the air would be reduced to, or would be converted into, less harmful one. For example, carbon monoxide can be converted into what? It can be converted into carbon dioxide, less harmful one. So this is called as Vayu. Write down. Vayu is a device developed by National Environment Engineering Research Institute. National Environment Engineering Research Institute that has its headquarters at Nagpur. National Environment Engineering Research Institute, and CSIR, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, and CSIR. Clear? And this device was established in Delhi. This device was established in Delhi. And we can see that this device has a fan on one side through which it is responsible for sucking contaminated air. Write down. It has a fan on one side. Through which it sucks contaminated air. And then the filters which are present in device is responsible for sieving out the particulate matter. Write down. The filters present in this device. Is responsible for sieving out. Sieving out means separating out. Sieving out particulate matter particulate matter, sieving out particulate matter. Now that has been done. What next needs to be done? And at the end is activated carbon. Right on. At the end of this device, at the end of this device is activated carbon. At the end of this device is activated carbon. Activated carbon with a coating of titanium oxide. With a coating of titanium oxide. With a coating of titanium oxide, which converts coating of titanium oxide, which converts harmful substances, which converts harmful gases, harmful gases like carbon monoxide, harmful gases like carbon monoxide into less harmful one, into less harmful one, that is carbon dioxide. It has activated carbon with a coating of titanium oxide over it. So it converts harmful gases into less harmful one. So that's called as the Vayu. Now last one, anti-smog tower. Anti-smog tower. What is anti-smog tower? This is a tower where we can see that it would be sucking air from the top. So air would be sucked from the top. Here it is sucked. Here is an opening and consists of a number of nanofilters. So pure air would be released at the bottom. And this anti-smog tower was developed by a Dutch architect. His name was Dan Roos Garrett. And this has been established in Delhi. So this is also working in Delhi. Renowned anti-smog tower. It is a device. It is a device which was designed by. It is a device which was designed by Dutch architect. Dutch architect Dan, that's the name of the architect, Roos Garrett. Dan Roos Garrett. He was the gentleman who devised this. And has been established in Delhi. And has been established in Delhi. And has been established in Delhi. Clear? What is this device? How it takes, right, sucks contaminated air from the top, passes it through different filters present in it, which is called as nanofilters, and releases pure air near the bottom. Right down. It sucks contaminated air from the top. It sucks contaminated air from the top. Contaminated air from the top. And through a number of nanofilters. And through a number of nanofilters. Nanofilters. Removes the contaminants. Removes the contaminants. So nanofilters are responsible for sieving them out. Removes the contaminant. And at the bottom, pure air is released. And at the bottom, pure air is released. Clear? So this is how it works. But that's not only about air pollution that we have to do. See, for reducing pollution from the vehicles, vehicular emission, which contributes highly in air pollution, we used what? We used catalytic converters. So which is responsible for converting harmful gases into less harmful ones. Clear? Because for example, suppose we talk about NOx. In NOx, what is mainly present? The oxides of nitrogen. So you can see that if suppose this is The catalytic converter is responsible for converting NOx into less harmful nitrogen. Harmful is nitrogen is naturally present in the atmosphere, so it won't be harmful for us. So this would be converted. Clear? This would be converted. So all these things you have to remember. And also just the Euro norms we'll discuss. Right on, for reducing vehicular emission, for reducing vehicular emission, we are using catalytic converters, catalytic converters. We are using catalytic converters, which is responsible for converting, NOx into nitrogen, that moves into the atmosphere. NOx into nitrogen that moves into the atmosphere. NOx into nitrogen that moves into the atmosphere. Moves into the atmosphere. Clear? NOx into nitrogen that moves into the atmosphere. And this is what? This is nothing but reduction, because oxygen is being removed. And the catalyst used for this purpose includes what? Platinum and palladium. Write down the catalyst used for this purpose. The catalyst used for this purpose includes platinum and palladium. Includes platinum and palladium. So that's the catalyst used for this purpose, which is platinum and palladium. Yes, the odd and even initiative which was taken in Delhi is certainly a good initiative. At least the vehicular emissions should be reduced through that. And also we can see that for reducing vehicular emission, we are also using what? We are also using the Euro norms. And the variant which are used for, we can see that we are using what? We are using the Euro norms, and these Euro norms are based on the European norms. And these are what? These are nothing but called as, in India, it's called as what? It's called as Bharat stage norms. So presently Bharat stage norms, and which variant is implemented in India? The variant which is implemented in India is variant 6. We skipped variant 5. Right down, to reduce vehicular emission, Bharat stage norms have been used in India. Bharat stage norms have been used in India. Bharat stage norms have been used in India. BS norms have been used in India. Presently BS6 is in force. Presently BS6 is in force. And we can see Bharat stage norms are based on what? Bharat stage norms are based on European norms. Write down. These norms are based on European norms. These norms are based on European norms. Clear? And we can see under BS6 there are many indicators. The indicators includes particulate matter, hydrocarbons, NOx, carbon monoxide. Write down the indicators in it include. Particulate matter, NOx, hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide. These are the indicators, and we can see it is measured in what? It's not measured in microgram per meter cube. It's measured in gram per kilometer. I know it is measured in gram per kilometer. It is measured in gram per kilometer. The contention is that 25% NOx emission. It's separate for diesel and the petrol engines. So the contention is that 25% of NOx emission would be reduced for diesel vehicles and 20% would be reduced for the petrol vehicles as such. Right now, it is separate for diesel and petrol vehicles. It is separate for diesel and petrol vehicles. Diesel and petrol vehicles. Clear? Now, this much in air pollution that you have to, I think we have covered. Now, see, there's a type of waste that you have to know, and that is called as what? That is referred to as electronic waste. Electronic waste. Now, electronic waste is a concern in India. First of all, define electronic waste. See, any kind of waste which would be having electrical, electronic circuit as and also computer source, not computer source, and also an energy source would be called as e-waste, would be called as electronic waste. So that's the definition of electronic waste. And we can see that as far as electronic waste is concerned, if a question is asked why it is a concern, and sometimes they can ask you question, it is a concern specifically in India. So it's a concern in India. Why? Because India is regarded as the dumping station of e-waste by developed world. See, developed world also, they are not responsible for properly managing their electronic waste. Because properly managing electronic waste means what? First of all, disposal should take place. Second is recycling of some parts can be done. But they are not responsible for proper disposal of e-waste. So even these countries, why? Because this is a costly affair. So even these countries are responsible for dumping e-waste in countries like India. Dumping e-waste in countries like India. Fine. And that becomes a concern for India because it is dumped in India. So that's a big concern for India. India is regarded as a dumping station of e-waste by developed nation. Write down electronic waste is a waste in which either either electrical or electronic circuit is present. Electronic circuit is present. Electrical or electronic circuit is present. It should also have a power source. It should also have a power source. Should also have a power source. Clear? So this would be responsible for having a power source also. That's how we are responsible for defining it. See, one concern is there in India that in the year 2011, there's a place in Delhi which is called as Mayapuri. So if your vehicle has been lost in Delhi, it would be recovered from only one place, Mayapuri, and you won't be able to identify your own vehicle. So much it has been changed in just minutes. Clear? So what happened was a lab equipment of Delhi University was sold to a kabadiwala. He was from Mayapuri, kabadiwala. And this lab equipment, when it was sold, the kabadiwala, in order to dispose this waste off, hammered it. Leakage of radioactive substance took place, cobalt 60. That was the substance which leaked. And immediately the person who hammered it, the kabadi wala, he fell sick. And then the alarm bells were ringing that how improper it is on the part of DU to sell this lab equipment to a kabadi wala because there is a law related to it. How can you violate this law? Clear. So that is improper disposal of e-waste. So e-waste, improper disposal of e-waste can result in accidents like Mayapuri 2011. So that reference can be made in your notes. Write down improper disposal of e-waste. Improper disposal of e-waste. Improper disposal of e-waste. Can result in accidents. Can result in accidents. An example is what? Mayapuri 2011 and radioactive leakage. Radioactive leakage. Clear? So this has taken place. Radioactive leakage has taken place. Fine. Clear? So improper disposal of e-waste can result in accidents. So that you have to know. And we can see that e-waste can be of different categories: white goods, brown goods, and grey goods. Write down. First of all, the biggest attraction of e-waste is what? The biggest attraction of e-waste is the gold. Gold is present in capacitor, plastic, and copper from wire. Write down. The biggest attraction of e-waste. The biggest attraction of e-waste is gold. Present in the capacitors. Gold present in the capacitors. Gold present in capacitors. Second, plastic, which is the biggest component of it. Plastic, which is the biggest component of it. And copper, which is a part of wire. Copper, which is a part of wire, which is present in wire. These are the big components of the electronic waste. This much for today. Clear? When we meet next time, tomorrow we will meet definitely, not next time. Tomorrow we'll try to complete first of all the pollution, and then we will move to biotechnology. Thank you so much.